You can talk about Patrick Mahomes or Travis Swift, but the real MVP of the Super Bowl champs, the 2023 Kansas City Chiefs, the real MVP was Steve Spagnuolo and the Chiefs defense. And they deserve way more love, way more admiration, way more respect than they are getting. Because this, ladies and gentlemen, was a historic defense led by Steve Spagnuolo. This season, the Chiefs allowed 27 or less points in every single game of the year. From the first week of the season versus the Detroit Lions to the final game of the season, the Kansas City Chiefs defense allowed 27 or less points. Forget about 30 or less. Forget about 28 or less. 27 or less points. To put that into perspective, Tom Brady never had a defense that allowed 27 or less points in his entire career for an entire season. Peyton Manning had one defense in his entire career that allowed 28 or less points, and the 28 came in the playoffs. That was 2007. Now, unlike Peyton Manning, who lost in the wild card round, Patrick Mahomes was able to take advantage of this defense, go all the way, and win the Super Bowl. But that is crazy. Steve Spagnuolo did something that Bill Belichick with New England never did. 27 or less points in every single game. And he faced the top competition. He faced them all. Steve Spagnuolo, remember, is the 1 in 18-1 of the 2007 Patriots. Steve Spagnuolo is a 4-time Super Bowl champion as a defensive coordinator. Steve Spagnuolo is one of the GOATs. Steve Spagnuolo is a Hall of Famer as a defensive coordinator, and there are few coaches that I respect more, being a Pats fan myself, than Steve Spagnuolo. This year, they faced everybody. They beat the Niners. They beat the Ravens offense. They beat the Dolphins offense twice. They beat the Bills and Josh Allen. They faced the Lions. They faced the Packers, although they did lose that game. They faced all the best offenses this year, and they did not allow 27 or more points. All of them. This was a championship defense built on role players like Mike Pennell, who had a phenomenal Super Bowl. Leo Chanel, who has had 2 phenomenal Super Bowls. I believe he was also the one credited with the blocked field goal in this game. Plays off the ball, on the ball, at linebacker. Unsung heroes like Mike Dana, who plays D-end and a little bit of D-tackle inside rushing the quarterback. Drew Tranquil, who plays outside or inside linebacker, can rush the passer or play in coverage. Game changers like Snead, McDuffie, and Chris Jones, 2 of which are going to be free agents. So they got to figure that situation out because those guys are big time. If I had to say one player was the MVP or the best player in this game, I'd have to say that it was McDuffie. He locked down one of the most difficult players to defend in the NFL and one of the most unique playmakers we've ever seen in NFL history, Deebo Samuel. Only 3 catches on 11 targets in this game. The Niners tried to get Deebo the ball. They tried to scheme him the ball. They tried to throw him the ball. It wasn't going to happen. You look at somebody like Justin Reid, who is a phenomenal all-around safety. This team only allowed 2 catches to George Kittle, a future Hall of Fame tight end, an all-pro player this year. And while Debo and Kittle may both have been banged up in this game, that's still impressive. McDuffie was crucial in one of the biggest pressures of this game, getting in the face of Purdy, forcing an incompletion to force a field goal in regulation near the 2-minute warning to get Mahomes the ball back, which forced the game to go to overtime. This defense won this Super Bowl. This defense was the MVP of this championship Chief team. The headlines will go to Travis Kelce, Travis Swift. The headlines will go to Patrick Mahomes and his wacky-ass family. The headlines will go to Andy Reid for the genius, which he deserves it. They deserve it. But this defense was the not only unsung hero, but the true most valuable unit on this team all year long, and they proved it on the biggest stage, facing the best offense, the most balanced offense, the best play caller, the best running back, arguably the best set of weapons, or not even arguably, in football. There were some big moments to me that stood out, and I want to go through those moments. Right after halftime, the score is 10-3. The Niners take a 10-3 lead into halftime. I don't think anyone expected the Chiefs to only score 3 points in the first half, especially considering they've been hot in first halves all playoffs long and as of late. And they only managed 3 points, and it was a 57-yard field goal, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong about that one, but they did get a 57-yard field goal at some point in the game. But right after half, the Chiefs get the ball, and Mahomes throws an interception. This looked to be a game-changing play that could put the game away. If the Niners are able to go down, take this interception from the Chief 45-yard line and score a touchdown, it's a 2-touchdown game with an offense with the Chiefs that couldn't move the ball, couldn't do anything, couldn't score, and really has not been a very good unit all year. Instead, what happens? The Chiefs' defense happens. On the first play, the 49ers throw an incomplete pass, showcasing their great coverage all day long, playing aggressive man coverage against a team that defensive coordinators simply never play man coverage against because it's too hard to cover all of these skill players. On second down, there's a false start. Makes it 2nd and 15, and the Chiefs get off the field after a 3rd and 15 incomplete pass. That's a 3 and out after your best player throws an interception at your own 45-yard line. That defense made the game-changing play, the game-changing stop. And then for the rest of the third quarter, they took over that quarter. They forced 3 3-and-outs throughout this quarter. And Niners fans think it's because they didn't run the ball. Well, the second possession, they throw a play action. It gets blown up, right? You're trying to counter the fact that the Chiefs are playing heavy in the box. They're trying to take away the run. They're blitzing the run. And we saw that throughout the game. The Niners only averaged 3.5 yards per carry, with Christian McCaffrey, the best running back in the league, which Spagnuolo, by the way, put together the best plan we've ever seen against the 49ers in terms of stopping the run. But what enabled that, as we put together in our game plan for the Chiefs, was the back end has to be able to hold up, and they did for a majority of the day. Sure, they let up some plays. Sure, the Niners scored their points. Sure, the Niners were going to score. I mean, they're the best offense in the league, and it was the toughest challenge in the NFL. But the ability to count on your back end, load the box, put Purdy and Shanahan in a predicament that they hadn't faced all year. An inability to really count on the run because of the numbers advantage the Chiefs had on every snap. So on 1st down and 10, they throw an 8-yard negative loss to Juwan Jennings. Purdy should have thrown that ball at the dirt. But that was absolutely caused by the Chiefs' pressure against these play-action looks. Then, of course, you're not going to run the ball on 2nd and 18. You're not going to run the ball on 3rd and 18. That's another stop. And they get 3 3-and-outs in the third quarter, which really turned the tide of the game because at the beginning of the third quarter, it was 10-3. At the end of the third quarter, it was 13-10 for the Chiefs. And really, not because of the Chiefs' offense, because of the Chiefs' defense and special teams. They recovered a fumble inside the red zone off of a guy's leg on a muffed punt. Fluky, but the Chiefs took advantage to make it 13-10. And it's all because the Chiefs defense made the critical stops that almost no team all year has been able to do against this Niners offense. This was a championship Chief defense that I don't think is getting the admiration it deserves. And it showed up once again in the fourth quarter and in overtime. 2 crucial third down stops. I talked about the Trent McDuffie blitz. Ayuk is open on this play. Purdy maybe could get rid of it, but he's got a guy coming right at him. A well-timed blitz where if you watch the play closely, McDuffie almost makes it look like he's going to play inside leverage on Ayuk. Purdy decides to go to the outside receiver instead of the inside because McDuffie fools the young quarterback and he blitzes and Purdy does not read the field correctly. On the second play, Chris Jones goes unblocked because of a pressure off the edge, right up the middle into the face of Purdy. He doesn't see Ayuk open once again, and he's not able to have enough time to get the ball to Jawan Jennings. That's in overtime. That's in the fourth quarter when you need it the most to force field goals instead of touchdowns. If the Chiefs don't get that stop on 3rd and 5, we're not talking about Mahomes' comeback. We're probably talking about Mahomes not playing well enough to win a Super Bowl. If the Chiefs don't score or don't allow a field goal in overtime and allow a touchdown in overtime, we might be talking about the inability for the Chiefs to get a 2-point conversion, which didn't allow them to win the Super Bowl. We might be talking about that. There's so many different things that can change the narrative in a Super Bowl. Of course, 8 points off of special teams the Niners would like to have back, but the Chiefs' defense was the main reason they won this game. It's the main reason they made it to the game and made it to the dance. They scared the Ravens, the Baltimore Ravens, into only running the ball 6 times. This defense was historic. They did something that no Patriot team ever did. That deserves my respect. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think of this Chiefs unit. Spagnuolo, where does he belong other than the Hall of Fame? Where would you put him among all-time defensive coordinators? What do you think of this defense? And do you think they can hold it together into the future? Because, of course, Jones, Snead, and others, including Willie Gay, are free agents. Will the Chiefs ever have a defense this good again? That's a big question. Hopefully the offense can pick up the slack in the future. That's the only way to continue this dynasty. This year was about the defense. And that's what I love about the Chiefs right now. They've proven they can win trophies, as in Lombardis, in different ways. And you got to respect it. Thanks, guys, for watching. Gronk spike the like button, or Kelce spike the like button if you're a Chiefs fan. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.